Okay, so we're back. Okay, so today we're going to be focused on questions 40 to 45. Okay, so the first one is, what is a great invention? So when I practice this with my students, I think the best thing to do is to not include the most common or most famous inventions and things like that. So, for example, the TV, internet, social media, I don't know, Wi-Fi, everything like that in general. It's better to not choose those actual inventions. It's probably a little bit better to choose something that's a little bit more obscure or maybe not as common that people wouldn't think about it. So I think for me, because I've had it, I would say laser eye surgery. So I think it's really fantastic. In the past, before I had this surgery, I had always suffered with glasses. Like I had different glasses, like sunglasses, for example, with my prescription, and then goggles for swimming, everything like that. So I think laser eye surgery is really amazing. It's really fast. Obviously, the higher the, well, like graduación or prescription in English, graduación is Spanish, obviously. So the higher the prescription, the more pain you have. So I had quite a lot of pain because I had quite a high prescription. So it was maybe 3 days of agony, to be honest. But then after that, and since then, it's been about 7 years now, and it's absolutely perfect. Yeah. So I mean, my eyesight is literally just fixed. So that's really, really amazing. So I think that will be counted as, well, yeah, I think a great invention, or else maybe, I don't know, penicillin by Fleming, or vaccines in general. Yeah, just to annoy those anti-vaxxers who might be listening. Okay, okay. Question 41. What scientists or inventors do you admire? So I do really admire Alexander Fleming, who synthesized penicillin, which is kind of like the revolution of antibiotics and started a new age of medicine treatment medicine, and then obviously treatment of disease. So then obviously Nikola Tesla is also kind of well, how would you say? Like nobody really disputes the fact that he was a genius, but obviously he was putting in risk big business. So I think a lot of that then was basically like knocking that on the head, as you would say, is that like the people that would make the most money from his inventions, or sorry, the people that would lose the most money from his inventions stopped him from achieving what he really wanted to do. Scientists then as well, I think, yeah, like I mean, a lot of the scientists that were able to work so quickly to synthesize a treatment or a cure for the pandemic for COVID-19. Obviously, those scientists are really, really amazing, just because of the amount of time that it took for them. They did it so quickly. And then inventors as well, probably Da Vinci, because I mean, Da Vinci was one of these absolutely like multifaceted or multi-talented people, and didn't sleep a lot and dedicated pretty much 90% of his life to drawing and really more than anything investigation, which then led to invention. And like that saying, that like philosophy is the mother of all invention. So I think that's a really amazing person to talk about, is Da Vinci. Okay, question 42. If you could meet any influential person from history, who would you meet? Okay, so would you meet Genghis Khan? Would you meet Jesus? Would you meet Gandhi? Would you meet Michael Jackson? I don't know. Emiliano Zapata? Would you meet Pancho Villa? Would you meet Michael Collins? Who would you like to meet? So I think for me, like some students always say Nikola Tesla or something like that, but I think Tesla would be this weird, strange person to talk to. I think you would like to think that he would be this incredibly profound or interesting person, but maybe not. Maybe someone like Einstein, because or Charlie Chaplin perhaps, but probably Einstein, because I mean, there's lots of stories that, like, for example, Einstein and Chaplin would be talking, and Einstein was really, really funny, and then like Chaplin was like a really serious, kind of introverted person. So maybe someone like Einstein would be a really cool person to meet. And then maybe someone like Genghis Khan. Yeah, so I mean, really, really amazing kind of person. Obviously not in a good way, a conqueror and a warlord, but obviously he had probably the biggest influence on world history and anything that has come so far. Like even in our DNA and everything like that, I think Genghis Khan is probably the most interesting person. Okay, 43. Do you believe in the afterlife? Okay, I don't really believe in the afterlife insofar as like heaven and hell and all that different thing, all those different like Catholic belief systems. I do think we go somewhere else after we die. I do believe in a God, but I don't believe in like the Catholic or religious structure or organization. So I do think that maybe our soul goes somewhere else, or I don't know, yeah, maybe another plane of existence or another level of existence. So I mean, with entropy, like nothing can, energy can't be destroyed; it's only converted. So I think that conversion leads us to something else that maybe we can't fathom or understand with our primitive minds. So I do believe in the afterlife, but not in the stereotypical like heaven and hell, all that kind of thing. Okay, question 44. Do you admire any cultures, or sorry, do you admire any ancient cultures or civilizations? So, obviously, like things like the samurai, because they were working on their swords over generations and almost in like a subatomic kind of a way to like compress the metal, and refine it over generations. Definitely anything, including like Celtic, ancient Egyptian, Toltec in Mexico, then as well. These amazing engineers and architects that their monuments still stand until this day. So really, really amazing. Just when you think that not only are they incredibly impressive structures or monuments in general, but then also that they align with the stars or that they have religious beliefs embedded on them as well as decoration. So like Chichen Itza in Yucatan or Teotihuacan, they both align with the stars, but then also in a solstice or an equinox. The definitely in Chichen Itza, I think in the moon pyramid in Teotihuacan, not in the sun pyramid, but the snake illuminates around the pyramid during the equinox. Really, really amazing stuff to think that they can work so many things into one structure at the same time. So really incredible and amazing. So I think that like because now we have silicone, microchips, everything like that, wireless, whatever. I think that we think we're very, very advanced, but obviously in ancient cultures, they were much more advanced when it came to architecture and engineering, but in a what we would see as a primitive way because we don't have a microchip. So definitely, in my opinion, like those ancient cultures and ancient civilizations were far more advanced when it came to engineering and architecture compared to where we are now. So really, really amazing stuff. Okay, and then how would you fix Mexico? This is number 45. Okay, so this question is basically if you're the president of Mexico tomorrow, they sit you down and they say, okay, Mr. President, which area would you like to focus on? Would it be the penal system, infrastructure? Would it be foreign trade? Would it be taxation? Would it be how do you say, the bloated structure in the government, criminal prosecution, like the justice system? Would it be education? Would it be the health system? Would it be science and tech? Which one would you focus on? I think for me, really, because I'm a teacher in Mexico, education is number one. The previous president of Mexico really did reform education in such a ridiculous and stupid way. So that now you can't fail. So basically, you don't fail any subject. You can't fail anybody. They pass to the next level, and then they do like a makeup exam to prove that they somehow magically learnt the material over the summer when they failed. So it doesn't make any sense. So definitely here, mandatory third level education where somebody has to go through primary, secondary, high school then as well, and then university. And then after that, well, for example, instead of university, some people would prefer a trade. For example, to be an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, a carver, anything like that. Carver is ebanista in Mexico. So to give people more power over themselves and to teach them a special skill, because obviously there's only a percentage of people that want to go to university. There's a lot of people that really don't want to ever, but to give those people more power so that they can make their own money, which is a really amazing thing. So I think, yeah, really like intelligent education, but also mandatory until around at least 20 years old, maybe, So I think, yeah, that's really how you fix a country. And we'll talk more about this later in some other questions, because obviously there are other questions then about how do you change a country's mentality or how do you change people in general. So I think that's the main point, and we will come back to that in the future. So anyway, these were questions 40 to 45. I'll try and do it like this in the future where I'm just doing 5 questions in a block. So rather than doing 10 minutes of time, I'm going to I'm going to basically focus on 5 questions. Yeah, so it'll be like this from now on. So thank you very much. Like, hit subscribe, and have a great day. Bye-bye.